distinguished itself with classic
The Boston Park
elegance,
Plaza Hotel
immaculate
began to be
luxury,
constructed in
and elite
1925
service
and
that
opened in
continues to attract
1927.
travelers
When it
from
was
all
first
over the
established, it
world
was known as the
who visit
Statler Hotel.
Boston for
At the time,
business,
it was the tallest building in
leisure,
Massachusetts
or
and the
special
8th largest in
events.
the world with 14 stories.
With an
During the
ideal
Battle of
location
Lexington,
in
the first
Boston's
battle of the
Back Bay,
Revolutionary War,
the
the
Park
site of the
Plaza is
Statler was
3
where the
miles
British
from
troops
Boston's
first landed.
Logan
In
International
1976, the
Airport, and
Statler
just
Hotel
over a
closed
mile
unexpectedly.
from both of
2
Boston's
weeks later, the
convention
name
centers.
changed to the Boston
The
Park
hotel
Plaza
is also
Hotel. It is
conveniently
located in the
located
center of
200
Boston
yards
near
from
many
the
popular
Boston
attractions,
Public Garden,
like the Boston
Common, and Newbury Street.
The Boston Common is the first and oldest public park in the country, as well as the starting point of the Freedom Trail, a path of 16 different nationally historical sites all located in Boston. The Common has been used for many different purposes throughout its years, beginning in the 1630s as a cow pasture and also as a location for public hangings up until 1817. In 1775, British troops camped here before approaching the colonists at Lexington and Concord. Today, the Boston Common is a public park for both formal and informal gatherings like weddings, concerts, sporting events, and speeches. Harvard is the first institution of higher education in America. It was founded by the Puritans in 1636 for the main purpose of training new ministers.
The Union Oyster House is a famous seafood restaurant in Boston and the first restaurant to be continuously running for over 150 years. It is the oldest restaurant in the United States still running today. The restaurant opened in 1826, but the building has been there for a very long time. The building was made in the mid-1630s to 1640s. It was first a fancy dress good business. Horace Mann was the first person to start to promote the building of public schools. He was an education reformer and did most of his work in Massachusetts. This school is named after this famous man and is the oldest public school for the deaf in America. The House of Seven Gables is located in Salem, Massachusetts. It serves as a museum of Salem. It holds artifacts from the first Salem witch trials, America's first millionaires, and the first muster in America. This house was also written about in Nathaniel Hawthorne's book, The House of Seven Gables. Emerson Inn is a very spacious and beautiful facility. It offers a great view of the sea and is located in Pigeon Cove. Emerson was the father of Transcendentalism and one of the first to start writing it. The hotel is named after him.
Boot Mills was the first integrated cotton textile mill. It was made in the mid-1800s and lasted for 100 years. Bells rang all day to call workers in, set schedules for eating and other tasks, and let workers go. The mill was first run on hydropower, but later technological improvements upgraded the mill to use steam and finally electric power. The Concord Colonial Inn is a luxurious hotel filled with history. In 1775, one of the inn's original buildings was used as a storehouse for arms. When the British came to seize and destroy the supplies, the Minutemen met them at the North Bridge on April 19th for what became the first battle of the American Revolution. Springfield Armory was built in 1777 as the nation's first national armory, and since its appearance, it has been very historically relevant throughout our history. During the Revolutionary War, it was critical for making and distributing weapons. During the Articles of Confederation, Shays' Rebellion took place here. It is the first place that angry farmers took the weapons from to go attack the Capitol, before George Washington put them down with federal troops. The Armory also contributed to a lot of industrial innovations, including interchangeable parts. Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara shut it down during the political tumult of the Vietnam War, but Springfield Community College was put in place to keep the tradition of technological innovation going.
We are going to stay at the first and only bed and breakfast in Springfield called Naomi's Inn. This charming inn was built in 1846. It is renovated into a much more accommodating place in 2007. The Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame is a great place to visit for all you basketball lovers. It is the first Hall of Fame in Boston. The hall is named after James Naismith, a physical education instructor who first introduced the game to his 18 students in a YMCA international training school in Springfield. The Plymouth Plantation is the first living plantation that was founded in Plymouth, Massachusetts. It shows the original area of the Plymouth colony in the 17th century. The Pilgrims were one of the first to emigrate to America from England. The John Carver Inn and Spa is named after John Carver, who was the elected governor of Plymouth Colony. The original colony had separatists who believed in looking for a new life and opportunity in the New World. The inn has very pleasant accommodations and captures the colonial theme. A granite monument standing 81 feet tall honors the first English settlers to land in Plymouth, Massachusetts. The National Monument to the Forefathers stands in a state park on Allerton Street. The monument was designed by the Boston artist Hammett Billings. It is the first monument established for the Pilgrims.
Now we are traveling back to the Logan International Airport. We had a very fun trip. Massachusetts, woohoo!